Hi guys, and welcome back to cryptochesterg. I'm here today to talk to you about an asset that I think has got absolutely huge potential and that is very, very different to a lot of the other layer 1 blockchains out there at the moment. The asset that we're talking about in today's video is TIA, okay? Now this blockchain is super, super different, and what we're going to be doing here is talking about this from a fundamental perspective, and then we're going to be breaking it down on the chart to see where this asset could be going, how much money we could be making, and then we're going to finish the video on a price prediction to see how high this asset could be going and how much money we could be making holding this until the height of the next bull run, okay, or potentially the all-time highs, okay? So let's start off with just a general sort of basis as to what this asset essentially is, and just sort of a fundamental guide so you guys can actually explain it. So TIA is basically classed as a layer 1 blockchain, okay? It's classed as a layer 1 blockchain, but in terms of the market cap, it's not performing like other layer 1s. That's why it is super, super interesting to dive into the utility and why this asset is actually different. Okay, so TIA is the first modular blockchain network that enables anyone to easily develop their own blockchain with minimal overhead. Now, the way that they do this, guys, here, instead of traditional blockchains, they actually have created what is called a monolithic blockchain. Now, a monolithic blockchain is pretty hard to explain. Okay, it's pretty hard to explain, but you need to think of it like two different models. Okay, so one model, you've got say Solana, for example, like a block of Lego. Okay, you've got one block of Lego going up Lego blocks. That's the Solana blockchain, and Solana would handle the transactions, the security, basically the sorting data, running apps, all of these things in one sort of pillar. Okay, that is Solana. That is how normal traditional layer 1 blockchains are sort of functioning. Okay, so you've got like Solana pillar, you've got Ethereum pillar, you've got BNB pillar, for example. Now, where TIA is different here, TIA is basically created the base panel for Lego, right? Base panel for Lego for the blocks to be built on. So TIA essentially will be handling here the data and the security of the chain itself, and then other devs and other blockchains and stuff like that can actually build their own blockchain on the TIA layer 1 system. Okay, so it's very, very different in terms of technology in compared to quite static normal layer 1s, and that is why TIA has caught a lot of traction recently. But unfortunately, there has been a debate into profit taking from potentially the devs, from VCs that have invested in this project, and yeah, this has obviously caused a bit of downside in the chart. Okay, now it has been a fairly bleak few months for this asset. As you can see, the last month it's come down from $2.20 all the way down to $1.40. Quite a significant reduction in the price for this asset here, and not to mention the unlocking periods that are still going on at this time here, that will be going on for a few years or so. This does get a little bit easier here on liquidity being pulled out of the asset on October 2025, okay, the 25th of 2025. That does get a bit easier here in percentage unlocked every single week there, which will help. Okay, it will help. But at the moment, there is a bit of controversy about Polychain Capital basically extracting value out of the market through staking rewards and stuff like that, right? So not going to go into too much detail about that now because we're covering sort of the fundamentals. But overall, guys, this is a very, very unique system here, and it basically offers the chance for anyone to build a blockchain here on a fast, sustainable, secure, and efficient platform. Okay, no one else really offers this sort of system here, and it makes it very, very capable for building. Okay, so yeah, that is sort of the fundamental side of TIA right now. It is sort of branched in the AI space as well. In terms of its category here on CMC, but let's get into the price and let's see where this thing could potentially be going here and how we could be making some money trading this asset. So if we're looking at this sort of on the daily to start off with, I mean, it was doing very, very well here at the start of 2024. Here had a really, really good run from 2023 into 2024, and then from there it was just a pretty big bloodbath continuously. Obviously, we had a nice pump from December here. Only naturally, a lot of the altcoin markets did start to really pump up when Trump got elected there. But from then, it has just been absolute descent, absolute dark side descent. And this is why a lot of controversy has happened, because we're actually below launch price now here over on Binance here. So you're probably saying to me, like, why are we talking about this now? We're talking about this now because it is basically, it's a fully fledged product in crypto, and yes, it's been sold into heavily, but that doesn't defeat what it is from a utility standpoint. This thing still does have legs, and buying it at this price now is super cheap and very achievable. And when this thing does run, it's going to run like crazy. We will get into a price prediction very shortly. Let's just have a little look and see how we can be trading this asset right now. I mean, it's heading down quite aggressively and has been heading down for a few years or so now. So the best possible scenario for this would either be catching a break to the upside, which in this market is pretty hard to predict. So the best probably thing is actually looking for a short position here, guys. Okay, this is clearly the trend line that I would be looking out for there. You can see massive levels of support along this zone here. We've actually bounced across this zone multiple times, and these volumes are not small amounts, guys. You can see 69% there, love to see it, and also another 56% there. So these bounces aren't small. So if you did want to play the bounce and the breakout scenario here, there could be a nice move up to this sort of area here in the future. Okay, that could be something to really play around with. But in my opinion, in this market, I probably would actually be looking for a short position. The short position I would really like to see here would be just sort of a retest of this breakdown here. Because as you can see, we have previously, where we came down here, we broke this current low. We haven't really pulled back significantly apart from here. But you can see, obviously, we've got that trend line. We've got massive moving averages here coming down here. We're likely to reclaim the 7 SMA. So it's very likely we actually do head up on the short term. We sit around this area for a little while. We consolidate. We wick to the upside. We probably don't break up because of the market and because of all the controversy right now. And this is where we short. We short it right back down to that low for roughly around 21%. That looks very nice and achievable for me. And that would involve, before that happening, guys, remember, it would involve a continuous pump now up for around 19%, and then consolidation in this area between that 5 to 10% mark before we enter that trade. Now, what will that do to the money flow, the momentum, and the stochastic RSI here? Okay, so if we see a massive pump to the upside and then consolidation, we're likely to see us basically sat in this sort of pocket. Okay, this sort of pocket right now, which will give us that room that we need for that descent to the downside here. It basically gives us space for the stochastic to dump right down again, which is essentially what we would be looking out for here for our short position. Okay, and you can see every time this thing does come up and it does top around this sort of area here, you can see it comes up, it tops, and then it dumps down quite aggressively here. It comes up, it tops, dumps down quite aggressively again. Okay, and this is what we are seeing right now. So if we can play that and we can predict that, that's going to be great as well. And of course, we're going to be watching this momentum coming up as well. Momentum comes up to roughly at around this sort of same level. Same scenario, it's going to happen. We're going to get rejected. Super simple stuff there. But yeah, that would be the short position I would be looking out for there for TIA. Now let's get into the price prediction for this asset. As we know, this is a super unique blockchain in the space. It is built unlike any other blockchain. Yes, we've had continuous selling pressure here over the last few years, but remember guys, it's a fully fledged product. It's got utility. It looks good overall. Now, if we were to buy this at this level, which in my opinion is a steal, it's an absolute steal to buy at $1.53, and we actually ran this up to all-time highs, guys, we would be looking at literally 1,382% on your investment. Okay, that's literally a 14.8x on your investment. So you put in $10,000, you're walking away with $148,000 when this gets back to all-time high. Okay, and if you look, when this thing launched, we actually took off for a very long time here from November 2023 when this thing launched all the way up for roughly about a good 6-7 months there. We were trending up quite aggressively with the rest of the markets. Now, when the markets do turn around, it's very likely this asset does do the same thing, and we do see some really strong progression there. Maybe not 1,382%, but we can literally expect like a 2-3-4x quite easily on our investment. That would be the price prediction. That's sort of what I'm looking out for there. a nice all-time high tap would be unbelievable stuff. Easy, free money for an asset like TIA. Let me know what you think of TIA in the comment section, guys. I'm super intrigued to know your opinions. And that is going to be it from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Peace out for now, and I'll see you in the next video.